giant Rincon. Now this over here is a 2008 giant Rincon that I've had forever. I rode this bike when I went to Mammoth.
Wow. Yeah. Good time to say I don't like heights.
Roger Daniels here at Mammoth Ski Park with the radioactive pit down below. Roger Daniels signing out. Get ready to shred.
I rode this bike all over when I got back into mountain biking.
Well, that's something's fun.
I rode this bike when I rode this bike. It's not a bad little bike. It's an entry-level giant from 2008, but it served me very well until I upgraded, and now it just sits around. So the plan is to turn it into a single speed. Wow. You're probably asking me why I would do that, and it's because it's funny. Basically, we're gonna be ditching all the gearing and just putting it basically, we're gonna be just putting it a simple single speed. I've got a 32 tooth for the front. I've got an 18 and a 16. I kind of like the 18, but I'm probably gonna put the 18 in for the rear. Gonna get rid of our derailleurs. And I've got a nicer bar set to drop right on in, and it'll replace these brake levers and no more shifters. Wow, let's dig in. Bye-bye. I mean, nothing more to do than to just start pulling things off, right? This is always the easy part. So easy. Come on. There you go, little guy. Let go. All done. Ready to shred. All right. Pop this chain apart. We're gonna have to lose some links anyways. Bye. There we go. Bye-bye, Cheney. Dick Cheney. No. Yes. There we go. All loosened up. Damn. The might of Zeus. Boink. And then now I should be able to just slowly snake that off camera apparently. Come on, little guy. There you go. And then you go into there somewhere. Get out of here. Get out of here. I've actually never dealt with one of these before putting it back on. I've always just taken my 3 speeds apart. All right. Well, that's out of the way. Boing. Go over there. This has to ungo. Ungo. That's the word of the day. Ungo. This has to ungo all the way apart. Swing open. There you go, little guy. Into the box of parts that I'll probably never use again. Come here. Come on. So that freed up a lot of cableage going on under here. Where are you? There you are, little guy. You actually have to loop all the way through now. Boing. I don't know why that makes the noise boing, but it sure does now. I'm not undoing this all the way, I'm just loosening these so my cable is free for when I undo my brakes. Wow! At some point I plan on converting this to a mullet bike, but today's not that day. I even have the fork off my old giant and everything just to do it. Here we go, all free at last! So what we're dealing with here is a wombo combo brake and shifter thing. So that's gonna have to go, and I figure while I'm taking the bars off, I might as well put a nicer set of bars on it. So what I've got is the old bars off of my Iron Horse from 2006, which are a little more aggressive, I guess, quote unquote. They got these Tektro brakes, and I put these, what do you call these things? The bull horns on them, whatever. These things, I just wanted to try it out, see how that worked. These are also the grips that came stock with my new Giant, and I just threw them on because I didn't feel like paying for loams. Let's see, let me get these. Wow, those things were, wow, these things were a little maxed out, it looks like. We're gonna have to deal with that. I mean, to be fair, I did that as a kid with my old shitty Mongoose bikes with the old caliper brakes. It's a little grungy in there, but nothing too scary. There we go. Okay, that's one brake free. Go for this other guy now. This one wasn't cranked down. Somebody didn't want to do face plants, I guess. Tell you a little bike story about almost doing that when I was a kid. That same Mongoose I mentioned earlier, I was riding around my grandparents' house up in Tahoe, and I was going down this crazy ass hill right in front of their house, and all of a sudden these crazy ass dogs, everything's crazy in this story, all of a sudden these crazy ass dogs started chasing me, and when I was a kid I had this like fear of going over the bars, so I always made my front brakes so you could squeeze them as hard as you could but they wouldn't lock up. And that saved my ass because guess what I did when I saw the dogs? I panic braked and I didn't go over the bars, but my front tire did go like up. I can't, how do I illustrate this? Like if this is the bike parallel, when I squeezed both my brakes, my bike went like this, so it's like on the front tire, and I remember like, oh shit! But as a kid, so I probably said like, oh, dang! And I almost went over the bars, but I didn't. And then the dogs came up to me and they were chill ass dogs, they weren't wild. So that's my story. I always feel like I have to mention this, even my electronics videos or whatever other videos I make. I'm not a pro. I'm not a bike shop guy. I just do this for fun. So if you're following along at home, pause the video, go on the Park Tool YouTube page with Calvin Jones, and then actually do this shit right. I'm just a guy in my basement with a cardboard wall. All right, off you go. Eventually I'd like to get a less crazy ass stem for this guy. Maybe suck it in a little more, but we'll see how it rides when I single speed it. I might like that extra over the bar action. Let's put this thing back together. Let's hit my camera with the bars too. Whoa, there we go. Now that's a riding position. You can be right here with your wrist at the wrong angle, or you can come down here with your wrist at the real wrong angle. I like it. I'm starting a new trend. Thank me later, X-Biking subreddit. You're not using Newton meters. That's all of you right now. Is that centered? Shut up, old bars. I've also never run these. I've always called them the bull horns. They're called like, I don't even know what, bar ends? I've always run these bar ends on the outside of the bars, never on the inside. I've seen a couple people do it, so I figured I'd give it a try too. Wow, that feels about like whatever Newton meters that needs. Yeah, there we go. All right, these should still be sort of loose, so I'm gonna readjust these where I want them. Same with the brakes. Now we should be able to route the brakes again, so let's do just that. I'm gonna snug the dug that all the way down. There we go. Am I doing this right? Yeah. Yeah. Why am I getting confused about what direction brakes go? Well, there we go. That's the new bars and everything else on it. It's a interesting look. It should be pretty comfortable though. All right, I guess we move on to the back now. All right, we got the first new goodie to put on the bike. It's the Shimano, the Shimano Alpine, which is just like a little derailleur for a single speed. The parts are falling. Let's put it on. You're supposed to grease all your nuts and bolts on every bike you ever own. Oh no! I've only ever installed the like cheap versions of these where they just have the little one leg that comes out. So we'll see how this does, but hey, there it is, it's on. Should be interesting. You can barely see it. The focus doesn't look like it was that great, but there we go. All right. All right, we've got our pro tools. We've got our pro bench, which is a dog bed on the floor. We're gonna get this little gear guy off of here, guy. Yep, I still remember. All right, this will no doubt go in a box of other gears that I'll never reuse, but I'll still have them. Ooh, this one's all separate. So the Foundation single speed kit. Wow. I don't know, it was the one that was there. No item number. Oh, my furnace turned on, that's good. All right, we're gonna go with the 18. It just seems like it might be more better. You put it to the correct Newton meters real quick. Click, click. Wow, it's on. There you go, that's a single speed with a 18 tooth gear. All right, let's put it back on the bike. This episode brought to you by cold. It is cold. Foiness is on. How does this work? How does this work? Am I stupid? Tire cannot clear. Oh, there. All right. How does this work? Shimmy, shimmy. What the fuck is going on here? There we go. What the fuck? That was a pain in the ass. I actually lined that up pretty good. Wow. Cool. That looks like a single speed bike to me. All right. Moving on to the front, I guess. So for the front, I got the Amazon special. Wow. I just was gonna throw an Amazon special on it. Why not? And I got the little shims to make it work. So let's slap it on. I don't have my crank pulling tool, so I hope I can do this. Here we go. All right, pedal off. All right, now we got access to the fun. There we go, god damn. Gotta be a man to work at the giant factory, apparently. Bust my knuckles now. These are so overkill. It worked though. Man, Jesus. Ay, ay, ay. Well, it's good to know that this this gear set would never blow up on me if I ever were to have that be a concern. But now it will, because I'm putting a new one in and it's gonna be not torqued down that hard. Big. There we go. Whee! And then this one is now stuck on here. I might just leave that on there until I can get my crank pulling tool. All right, pretend that's not there. I'll get rid of that later. Get it? There we go. All right. Wow. And just like that, it's a real bike. Well, that was annoying. I had to take some material off of this here ring, but now it works, so we're putting it on. Wowie. Wow, dude, looks so stock. You'd never even know. Get out of my way, little gear. It's like Little Bill, but little gear instead, like Bill Cosby. All right, well, for the time being, there it is. Eventually I'll pull this crank off to get the little gear off, but I'm not worried about that right now. It's hot water heater hour, guys! All right, well, there you go. All done. Put it back together, take it for a ride. Let's get the shitty pedal that came with this bike back on. It used to have nicer pedals on it, but I stole them when I got my new Giant. So, yeah. Ding ding. Well, I guess all that's left to do is size up the chain, get the brakes hooked back up correctly, and it'll be a bike again. Oh boy. All right, we're gonna use the system that we in the trade like to call Just Guess. Come on, little jockey wheels. All done. Take it for a ride. You know, actually, I hate where that's sitting. All right, let's just pop this link out. We're gonna put a missing link in. All right, well, it turns out the missing link I had was the wrong one, so I just put the chain back together, and there we go. Wowee, bike. All right, well, let's get the brakes put back together, and I don't see why this wouldn't be ready to shred now. All right, well, one thing this could use is a little more centering. I can hear the brake rubbing, so I'm just gonna do the old, that's not the right size tool, the old centering challenge. That's still not the right size tool. The old centering challenge. All right, I'm sure there's some fancier, better way to do this, but my method has always been, make sure that this is tight first. That's the first step of this method. There we go. Is to squeeze, and now I'm just gonna center it. And see how that works. And if not, I just give it a little nudge in whatever direction it needs. There we go, see? Whisper quiet. Snug it down all the way now, and we'll move on to the rear. It's the wrong way. Make sure I stick my finger in the caliper. Yeah, that sounds pretty good. Well, that's the brakes, so air up the tires, go grab the GoPro, and let's see how she rides. It's also winter and the heater's running, so I'm gonna be grossly out of shape. It's also raining outside, so we're just gonna have a grand old time. Let's do it. Oh man, I am out of shape from the winter. Also, I was dog shit at that jump because I am fat. Well, I'll tell you what, that thing was a blast. I didn't feel like I was pushing myself to get up to speed, nor did I feel like I was granny gearing it at all, so that's kind of nice. I think 32:18 is kind of the magic number, at least until I start climbing hills and whatever else I do with this disgusting creature. But yeah, thanks for watching. We'll see how that new GoPro setup goes, but yeah, that was a bundle of fun. Tune in next time when, I don't know, I have more bike I need to fix, so probably that. Bye!